This week, we begin a three-part series with one of Hollywood's most endearing and enduring stars, Ruta Lee. She's still a Palm Springs regular. Since the early 50s, she's been in the spotlight, from early television shows to the big screen opposite some of Hollywood's biggest heavy hitters. In our first part, Ruta, the early years. Were you always destined to be in show business?
I think so.
How so?
I think that I came out of my mother's womb into tap shoes. I just felt like there wasn't anything else. And my mom was not exactly what you would call a showbiz mom. My mom was a little peasant girl from Lithuania who carried her shoes to church because they had to be passed down to the next daughter and the next daughter. Very poor family, you know. If they had a cow, it was a blessing. They wanted to get into the United States, but the quotas were closed. And so my father took a job to work in Canada. And then he brought my mother over, and I was born in Montreal, Canada. And she always had a very heavy accent, as did my father, and knew nothing about show business or New York or theater, nothing at all like that, but knew the movies. They went to see the movies if they had a few pennies to spare. And to her, I was Lithuania's answer to Shirley Temple. Hollywood is where the movies are made. So she communicated with a marvelous man, Monsignor Macijauskas was his name. Lithuanian, of course, is my background. And he invited them to come and visit in his teeny little parish that he had started, the Lithuanian Catholic Church. And they came out to California in mid-February. Well, let me tell you, the palm trees were swaying, the flowers were blooming, the birds were chirping. My parents fell so in love with Los Angeles, Southern California. My mom said she cried all the way home on the train because the palm trees were waving goodbye to her, you know. And thank God that my mother got to see some fruits of her labor come into existence and some success for this silly little girl that she thought was Lithuania's answer to Shirley Temple.
And so that leads me to, what did you get from your mother and what did you get from your father that makes you Ruta Lee?
From my father, I got the stamina, the energy. My father was very energetic. Great speed, tenacity. From my mother, I got the calmness, a different kind of tenacity with a little more patience, and the stick-to-itiveness, I guess the tenacity to accomplish whatever you have to. But my dad was more happy-go-lucky, and I see that in my nature.
Tomorrow, we'll look at Ruta's incredible career from a new medium called television to the stage, talk shows, and game shows to the silver screen.